Stop doing that. Like
that's
this
funny.
is the problem. Like the whole incel thing that's going on in culture today. Men are the reason why this happens.
I said that.
We
Somebody
out-ratio women, bro. I mean, when women out-ratio us, they are way more than them than us. And by the fucking fact that you sitting here, hey, baby, good morning. Yeah, whatever you want, baby. Yeah, well, good morning. Like, you're beautiful. Hey, beautiful. I'll do whatever you want. Yeah. My nigga, you're the reason. You're the reason why the other, fucking 15, 20% of niggas gotta work so hard to get good women, because y'all niggas right here are sitting here lowering your self-value and your self-respect by being somebody's fucking doormat, bro.
And honestly, if you need to split that bill, you shouldn't even be dating.
Should not be dating.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Welcome, y'all. This is your boy Young S. You're back tuning to the IC. I got Sade Renee. I got and I got Young S. boy. Oh, and when the Wild Boys come for you, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. Welcome back to another episode of IC. How's everybody feeling today?
Shit, we lit it after that shot, nigga. I took a shot out the Buddha head, man. What you talking about there? You know what I mean? It's that secret, ain't you telling me secret? No, I'm bugging.
Yo, man. It's been a rough week, man. I'm not gonna front. It's been a real rough week, but we getting it together.
It has been like heavy as fuck.
It's been rough for you too?
Yeah, it's just like June, just one of those months where it's just mad shit going on. I just want June to be over and summer to start. I'm over June. I want it to just end.
I don't feel that way about June, but I feel that way about a lot of people. Everybody ain't fucking with, fuck you, my nigga. I don't fuck with y'all niggas no more. Y'all know who I'm talking to.
I've been through that phase.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been having a lot of, I'm not even gonna put it in the air.
I say it's a filtering process.
Yeah, we filtering people out of our lives. That's what we're doing at this moment.
If the vibe don't match, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Yo, so sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah, it's real necessary sometimes.
Real necessary.
It's real necessary.
Yo, once you're grown up, you got responsibilities.
You got responsibilities, and it's necessary.
You got responsibilities. It's necessary.
I don't want no more responsibilities.
Word up, but man, we back here. We doing our thing. Sade, what we gonna talk about today, Sade?
So I found something really interesting.
You did?
Yeah.
What you found out?
You find out.
Let me know.
So
you want Caroline for dinner?
What the croissants? You ever see that video?
I'm a only normal person.
You never see that video with that nigga that be doing that shit?
You made me drop my croissant.
Not that one. Not that one. Now, there's another one. This nigga just, every time he says something at the end of it, he just makes his voice mad deep. He's like, oh, you got the croissant. Nah, you gotta look it up. Hold on, my nigga. Matter of fact, we'll do it later because we got to, do your thing. Y'all know what I'm, y'all niggas that know that. I know.
Just send it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
So this man, he goes on a date with this girl and he refused to pay for her meal because she wouldn't give him sex. He was like, yo, you come back with me? And she was like, no. So the waiter comes out with 2 separate checks and she's like, you're not gonna pay for my dinner because I'm not gonna have sex with you. He's like, what? Do y'all think that's okay? Or like,
should I find the video to give people a little more context?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and I'm gonna say, I think the context definitely matters because like this guy wouldn't go home with this nigga either. I wouldn't. I'm like, fine, I'll pay for my own shit.
I feel like, no, I don't think that's cool. You shouldn't expect.
So this is it.
Did you really come back with 2 separate checks?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
You're really gonna make me pay?
You gonna get some ass?
No.
Well, anyway, man,
shit.
She not gonna give you no ass. That's crazy.
Man.
Wait.
Are you?
Nah, I don't like the way he went up.
I'm gonna pay you 15.
But look at that nigga.
At least
He probably didn't have enough money to pay for it anyway.
Fuck you.
See, that's your problem. You don't want to.
Shit. He's really making me pay, you guys.
You don't want to.
Hey, how you get home?
You're fucking taking me home. You're taking me home.
You got gas?
No.
Nah, that's a little crazy, man.
You want to give that to the ride?
No. You're taking me home.
I think you heat up the food.
That's sad.
Oh, chill out, Mom. Damn.
My dukes. Nah, but I'm gonna keep it a hundo.
I think
You're taking me home.
I don't think anybody should expect sex after a meal.
All right, you guys.
But,
he's not making me. He's making me pay for my food because I won't have sex with him.
Same way, I don't think anybody should expect
That's a sad
sex.
shame.
I don't think you should go on dates if you ain't got enough money to pay for your bill. You never know what happens. What's that man forget his wallet?
You know what I think about this? I think he's handling it in a bitch ass nigga way. But he does have the right to pay for his own meal.
Yeah, he does. That's what I said.
You know what I mean?
For sex though.
No. He should not feel entitled
to some butt.
To somebody insides. That's crazy.
Or for some food.
Yeah, like over some food. And look at him.
Look at that nigga. Y'all go home. Like, if you was a girl, you go home with that nigga. He looks, but like, what kind of nigga are you if that's how you have to negotiate having sex? You get what I'm saying? Like,
yo, Gino, is there any condition to where you would split the bill? Or would you? I'm gonna tell you like this. You would feel like you want to split the bill.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you like this. There was this one time. See, this is why I'm kind of like on the fence. Not even on the fence, but I'm like teeter-tottering. That's on the fence. Anyways, the reason why I always pay for the dates. Matter of fact, I not usually always pay for dates. But there was this one time I went on a date with this girl that I just met, and I never seen this happen. But this girl was ordering everything.
When she OD'd on
like I was just like I'm talking about like.
Can I get the fillet?
Like she ordered a meal, she ordered an appetizer, which is cool. Ordered like 5 drinks, 2 hookahs, then went back and got a meal to take home. And I was like, oh, you're trying to finesse me right now. I kind of got mad. Kind of was a little upset. Like, wow, you thought that was okay. Like, you don't even know what my pockets are set up like. I just feel like, in my mind, I had it was nothing. But it just was like, I know you ain't supposed to go on a date and be all crazy. Like, so in the end of the day, like, I don't think there's ever a time that I would not pay for it, but I've seen girls that be just using it.
I think I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think it's if I bring you out on a date, right? And you on your phone the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like I came out and I'm here by myself doing this.
Just to feed you.
Yeah, I feel like
she finessed you for a meal.
It's like you paid for yours because you were basically not even here.
Yeah.
You know, we couldn't even if we didn't like each other, we couldn't even sit here.
Could have been cordial.
We couldn't even sit here and shoot the shit and talk about like random shit. You want to be on you could have laid in your bed and been on your phone, and I could have came here by myself.
Made it mad awkward for niggas.
She probably would have been hungry and ate some noodles.
That's what. But I feel like under that condition,
but maybe on some real shit though. If we're gonna be honest, this is like. Even with that girl that went crazy on the, I end up smacking. But I feel like niggas can tell. I mean, yeah, shit. I feel like niggas can tell though, like when a girl's just using me for a meal. Like if you can't tell, like there's a certain level of like chemistry that just comes along with like, oh, we vibing. You know what I mean?
You have to have a certain level of social awareness.
That's crazy to me because even if you're just showing up to a date for a meal, be fucking nice.
Yeah.
Like be nice. Like what? Like I really don't understand this attitude of I don't have like that. That's why I fucking hate that Drake song. Nice for what?
Yeah, I don't like.
It set y'all bitches up because it's just like just be nice because you're a nice person. You get what I'm saying? Like,
or be nice because you're getting fed, bitch. What the fuck?
I'm just saying, just be like, what? Why be an asshole? Like, now this guy, he deserved to be an asshole.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he deserved to be treated a certain kind of way. Because it's just like, first of all, look at that nigga.
I mean, like, my nigga, even if you're gonna buy pussy off the street, my nigga, like, it's gonna cost more than $40. So what are we talking about?
To be honest, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But my dad always told me, make sure you have enough because you, like, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, this
I do agree with that.
There's a lot of situations where sex is transactional, especially with men. Like, I'm a girl from a female's perspective. I've been out with a lot of dudes who literally expected sex from me just because they showed me a good time.
Nah, see, I never.
That's not how this works.
That's not how it works. I feel like those is niggas that just don't know how to tap into the game. My nigga, like they social skills is limited.
I might have was going to, but
and they
you
probably don't
asking
even
for it, now you're not getting it. Now I'm going home.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like if you a nigga and you just buying a meal, you feel like you should get some butt, you probably don't have much to bargain with. If that's your big chip.
Not even that. Sex shouldn't be transactional. Sex shouldn't be like, oh, I took you out, now you give me ass. Sex
I don't even think I would like it like that.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of niggas. There's a lot of niggas out there that do that shit.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of
But you know what's
niggas.
crazy is it's weird because it's like a cycle. It's like the men who do that create the women who go out just for meals.
And that's crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
And
the women who go out for meals create the men that think I'm gonna pay for this meal and she's gonna fuck me.
It's like what came first, the chicken or the egg type shit. And I constantly, and you know, like I know how you go hard on the women, but I go hard on the niggas that's like that, my nigga. Like if you getting treated like shit, or you're not being, if a person's not being cordial to you, stop putting funds in their pocket.
Yeah,
stop fucking giving hey beautiful texts. Stop doing that. Like that's this funny. Is the problem. Like the whole incel thing that's going on in culture today. Men are the reason why this happens.
I said that.
We out-ratio women, bro. I mean, when women out-ratio us, they're way more than us. And by the fucking fact that you sitting here, hey baby, good morning. Yeah, whatever you want, baby. Yeah, well, good morning. Like you're beautiful. Hey, beautiful. I'll do whatever you. Yeah. My nigga, you're the reason. You're the reason why the other fucking 15-20% of niggas gotta work so hard to get good women because y'all niggas right here are sitting here lowering your self-value and your self-respect by being somebody's fucking doormat, bro.
And honestly, if you need to split that bill, you shouldn't even be dating.
You should not be dating. You should be working on yourself.
You should be working 60 hours.
To be honest, I feel like
and getting your bread up and it like that little date right there
shouldn't happen.
You should be like, you should be on some shit. If you don't like her, if she's not giving you ass and you tight, you want to be a bitch about it. You should pay the bill and just leave. Leave her there.
I don't even know about that.
But he's doing it. He wants to get back and do some bitch ass shit. But it's like, it shouldn't be, oh, I'm going to pay my shit. I'm going to own.
That was just corny.
He looks like a corny dude. He looks like he just don't handle situations. Yeah. Like, to be honest, it's just handle it. You get what I'm saying? And first of all, you shouldn't be saying, "Oh, are you coming back with me?" And if you're not, like then I'm not. Then you pay your own food. Like, what kind of shit is that?
My nigga, it's like this. If you only out for the pussy, if you're a nigga that's just you want to date for the pussy, my nigga. Pay for it. No, not even that. If you're trying to just check shorty for pussy, you going on a date, my nigga. First off, you gotta have money for shit like that. Second off, if you're gonna go on a date, pay for shit that you say you're gonna pay for. Drop off. Don't call her back, bro. You know that she's not popping off like that.
That's just being a man of your word. You get what I'm saying? That's just like, I feel like
if you want to say some real shit right now, you want to be really real, this date should be early. This date should be like 8 o'clock and your pussy should be set up for like 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so you can always cancel on your faithful pussy if you want to. Excuse my language, it was too vulgar. But you can always cancel on Old Faithful. If this don't work out, she says, I'm not coming back with you.
That nigga ain't got no backup. That's why he's so tight.
I think everybody else got a backup.
That nigga don't got no backup.
That nigga don't got no backup. Look at that.
He got a Looney Tune shirt on.
That nigga, he's a dusty. He's a dusty ass nigga. Because a real nigga would have just like, all right, I'm paying for it. And he would have just, like you said, he would have just never spoke to her again.
If he want to be real player, he'd be like, yo, I'm going to pay for your Uber. I got to go.
That's it.
Yeah,
there's so many different ways you could handle
like
that.
you can like flex and still dead her if you really want to shoot fire. Yeah. But it's not necessary to shoot fire.
I just don't feel like you should be asking for sex.
Yo, there's mad petty niggas out there though.
Hell no, you shouldn't,
bro.
Niggas is mad
like,
petty.
My nigga, like it's $40, my nigga. Like, what are we talking about right now?
He probably don't got it. He probably just like, well, it's my last $40, and if she fucks me, then I'm gonna then. I'll pay for it. But if she does it, I'm gonna take my $40 and I'm gonna go buy me a magazine.
I fear for these niggas nowadays, bro. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not married, but I'm off the dating scene.
The dating market out here is trash.
Like, I honestly, like, I hope me and Shorty do make it across that broom because
it's dumpster diving.
It's trash, my nigga. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm just so tired of like. It's like I don't know. It's like people are dumb too. It's just like, bro, how dumb are you?
Not only dumb, I think that we've lost like social skills. Like we've lost like tact in social situations.
Yeah, like there's no fucking.
Everybody's either super sensitive or super aggressive, and it's just like
no finesse, bro.
And everybody's entitled, so it's just like, oh well, if I do this, you got to do that, and it's just like, where y'all? Who's y'all parents? Like, who raised these niggas? I'm sorry, this is just seem like everybody just lacks tact and social skills, because it's just like there's so many different ways where he could have handled that situation where she might have changed her mind.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he's like, oh, you don't want to come, you know, like there's just so many different ways to handle a situation.
And a lot of the times it's like, you shouldn't ask that. That should be something like almost taboo. But a lot of the times she gonna play like she not gonna give it to you, and then it's just gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
And you know what I mean?
Never been a time I had to ask for butt, my nigga. Like there's never been a time. Like it just happens, bro. Like you don't fucking.
But I think you can tell when she wants to, when she's not.
Yeah,
even if she's
like she won't give you the body language.
Even if she's fronting, like there's body. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, it's social skills, because you can tell. You can tell.
You gonna give me some butt now? I just pay for your meal. You gonna give me some butt? Hey, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah, you're losing.
What are we talking about right now?
You're losing.
So I actually we're gonna stop with this because I'm done. But I came across this and it said complete the 2000s Mount Rushmore, but it's Rapmore. They have Weezy, Kanye, and Jay-Z. So there was like a big debate because everybody was like Eminem, 50 Cent, and T.I.
I think.
So I'm saying, like,
that last one, I'm sorry.
No, this is what they were saying. This is what they're arguing about. Because everybody is completed. There's a fourth space, and it's like, who would you put there?
So you said Weezy,
Kanye, and Jay-Z. And you can interchange
Kanye's
it.
not done though.
He's not, but we're talking about like who were the staples of 2000s
early
rap.
2000s, early 2000s rap.
Yeah, before 2010, because they have one. There's like a whole bunch of different ones.
You got T-Pain up there for sure.
Oh, I forgot about T-Pain. He's rap though.
Yeah, his first album was called Rapper Turned Singer. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
T-Pain, that's my nigga though. And even if he didn't rap, he was on the features of all the hottest rap songs.
Nigga
was, if you didn't have a feature with T-Pain, you was not going plat. I'll tell you that right now. Your single was not popping without T-Pain. So we definitely gotta have
he was very, very,
that was
very
that man. Who else? 2000 to 2010. You gotta have. I feel like Dipset should be up there. At least Cameron and Jewels.
Yeah, they were the party movers.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
They definitely got the party list.
I type in early 2000 most successful rappers, right?
See, Lil Wayne, 50. Everybody said 50, T.I., and Eminem.
I can't agree with the T.I. thing. I know he was popping off around that time, but like I just don't like. And I hate to say that because I fuck with Tip, but it's just like. His music wasn't that influential in New York, bro. Like on the East Coast, it wasn't like that over here, bro. Like,
I go for not really mainstream success, as in the actual album sales. Mm-hmm. I say most influential,
and then I definitely can't say T.I.
Who are y'all choosing?
Yeah, so I would say definitely. I think the most influential rapper of all time ever in life is Lil Wayne.
Yeah, I love that.
I say Lil Wayne.
That's hard.
I say Lil Wayne.
There's so many Lil Wayne gremlins.
Because after Lil Wayne, he birthed a whole tidal wave of kids wearing dreads, tatted from on their face from neck to toe.
Black skateboarder
have
kids.
Lil in front of their name. Like this whole generation is literally a ode to Lil Wayne.
I guess you're right.
You get what I'm saying?
I can't deny that.
Like everybody, you hear Baby,
Thug,
a lot.
Young Thug sounds like it.
I feel Wayne. I fuck with Wayne.
Yeah, I think
Lil Uzi.
I'm
Lil Wayne.
biased because
Lil Wayne needs that first spot to me.
Yeah,
Lil Wayne needs that first spot. Second,
and he dropped like in 2000s. He had all those mixtapes plus the CD.
Yeah, you right. You know what it is? My bias. My bias came out.
What's your bias?
I'm New York nigga, bro. Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z is.
But what did Jay-Z really release in the early 2000s?
In 2000s?
What?
Was it American Gangster?
Yeah. The Blueprint 3.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you talking about, bro?
Oh my God.
But you know what's crazy is Lil Wayne looks up to Jay-Z.
Yeah, he does.
That's his, like, that's
the
his
song,
nigga.
The Carter.
The Carter.
You know what?
Exactly.
Jay-Z has to be there because Jay-Z.
Of course.
Jay-Z, because what? I remember, right? On 9/11, the day of 9/11, I was in 7th grade. I was in the lunchroom, right? And I couldn't wait to get out of school because Fabulous's first album and Jay-Z, the first Blueprint came out that day. And I was going to run to the store to Love Music on North Ave, and I was gonna buy those CDs first thing first. Then 9/11 happened. I'm like, I'm trying to listen to these CDs. What the fuck is going on right now?
That's crazy because I watched 9/11 from the smokestacks. That CD birthed Kanye West. Word.
It really, and it's like the whole CD was half Kanye West, like half Just Blaze.
Exactly. So in the end, and also not even just that, bro. Like,
so then the first three are befitting. Who's the fourth?
Well, the third,
because we just named all three people that are already in the 2000s top.
Yeah.
Who's the fourth? That's the question. Who is number 4?
Was 50, and it was 50, right?
No. There's no. I said people were arguing. 50,
Jay-Z, Wayne,
and Kanye are the ones.
Eminem got to be there.
That's what they said. Eminem. They was arguing between Eminem.
Like before 50, anybody else, Eminem has to be there.
Eminem 50, and I think Nas.
Because without Eminem, there's no 50.
True.
So Eminem has to be there.
Okay.
And Eminem first off, Eminem made a whole different genre of rap.
Word.
Fire. Like, and I'm one of the like. I'm harsh on my criticism about Eminem, but I'm like his skill set and his impact on hip hop is undeniable.
It is.
Yeah, I think Eminem is I think he's the best executed rapper of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's the best wordsmith syllable. Like what? Yeah, his breakdown of words. Like my nigga. He said, "This is coming straight from the fish's ass." So every last word that you bastards heard,
I think I'm gonna cover my cock in the locker room.
Like, that nigga just like the things he says, like nobody thinks of them shits, bro. It's this nigga.
But not only that, he just like built a world.
Yeah,
like
he
built a whole world for like. It was just insane. Like
the whole D12
that's what I'm saying. Like
all that shit was just
he pulled you in, and you could not deny what.
One
Eminem
thing
did.
about Eminem though,
I fuck with
that
Eminem.
I have to say, and nobody really talks about. You know, I gotta say shit nobody talks about. He did put me on the mad fucking drugs, man.
Yeah, he did.
He would say shit in his songs, and I didn't know what he was talking about.
But don't you think that was inevitable though? Like, cause you gotta remember, we was young.
He was promoting that shit.
I mean,
he was talking about I didn't do a lot of these drugs, but like I was a big Eminem fan. Then when I heard somebody talk about it in real life, I was like, "Oh, Eminem, that's cool."
Over Wayne,
like Klonopin, Xanax, and
Eminem was on. I would say Eminem was
I think Wayne talks about drugs.
Wonder why I need more Vicodin for.
Like, come on, bro, Wayne.
No, this is before Lil Wayne did.
Yeah, it was, but I'm just saying, Wayne.
I'm talking about being 12, 13 years old and hearing Eminem drug bout, let the X destroy your spinal cord, so it's not a straight line no more. And he's like, and you're like, and you're like, what is he talking about? And he's like, what's ecstasy? What's Vicodin? What's that?
But is that like? But what?
I'm just saying he's putting you on. That's it.
I mean, that is the point.
And I know your parents should be moderating a lot of this like material, but Eminem. He defined a lot of drugs before I even knew what the fuck they were. I never meant to give you mushrooms, girl. I didn't know people chew mushrooms before that song. Yeah. I was way too young for that shit.
The reason why I say I hear what you're saying, but at the same time I feel like eventually we were gonna find out about him anyways. Because
y'all didn't go to Dare?
We was like,
he made them cool. He made them cool.
I think I wasn't trying to be like Eminem as a kid. I was trying to be like Wayne, if anything.
I think like Eminem and Lil Wayne are like almost two sides of a different coin. Because you have like a hood nigga who's just trying to escape where he came from, and then you have Eminem who grew up in an environment that he was trying to escape from. Yeah. That's what they both they were the epitome of like.
You gotta remember too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was listening to Lil Wayne back when he made The Block Is Hot.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
That's when I really was like, I was a fan of Wayne before like he was big in New York.
You're talking about the drug crazy Eminem.
I can't feel my face.
After all of that. Like, and when Slim Shady came out, that was like 98, 99.
Yep.
Yeah.
Y2K.
Yeah.
That was way before Weezy even got nice.
I know, but I'm not saying that, I'm not even saying that like, who did it first. I'm just saying like, you just said that Lil Wayne is the most influential person in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
But this nigga talked about sipping out of lean cups and shit like, and codeine.
Me and my drink.
And for like, he's the most influential. So if anybody's like, if you're gonna put that on M, you gotta put that on Wayne too, because this nigga's, you're saying he's the most influential. We have a whole bunch of Wayne clones now. The whole game is a commendation to Wayne, right?
I'm just saying. This is interesting. This is an interesting subject too. A lot of times when you listen to rap, old people don't get it because it's almost cryptic. It's almost like you're deciphering vernacular.
That's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah, within hip hop. Eminem didn't do that.
Eminem was straightforward.
Eminem would rap in dictionary definition, you know? So he was like real, like a lot of rap songs you have to be into rap and be into culture. So Eminem would talk about beans, you know? And a bean is is ecstasy. Eminem, he would say MDMA and ecstasy, and that he's a white person.
Well, who do you think that affected?
He's given clinical definitions, and because to a little kid, it's just like to a little kid, you see a sexual joke on TV about choking the chicken. They don't know what the fuck that is. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But Eminem, he's giving you masturbation. Eminem is saying masturbation and hip hop
super cringe.
Yeah, he's a little more direct with his vocabulary.
I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I'm not saying that I don't feel like he probably did, but I don't think, at least for me, it didn't make me want to go do drugs. I just feel like
I'm just saying it defined them first.
Defined them, yeah, I guess.
So like you'll see a Tylenol 3 in your cabinet and be like, oh, I can get high off of that. Yeah, I can get high off of that. And you're just aware of like what these things are.
Do you think that that hip hop is influential in that manner? Like if
OD.
Like
hell yeah.
So you think like based off of what kids are listening to is gonna dictate what it's indicative of what they're gonna become?
I think so, because whoever you are, I'm not saying that the music is gonna make you do it, right? Whoever you are, you need theme music to do that shit. That's what I'm saying.
But when I go open up the window to like pique your interest, is like, what is that? And why? And how is it?
Let me finish the point, right? When I go to the gym, I like listening to 50 Cent, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to the gym anyway, and I need something to fuel my energy while I'm in the gym. Yeah. It just happens that 50 Cent has this same type of energy. Say if everybody was like, no gym music, it's negative, I'm going to find that energy somewhere and I'm going to figure it out. Just like a gangster who, niggas about to spin the block and shoot up some nigga's crib, that if 21 Savage didn't exist, they'll find it elsewhere.
So basically,
you get what I'm saying?
So you don't think that music made them do that?
It doesn't make them do it, but it's definitely the theme music.
Okay, and I'm fine with that.
It definitely assists.
The only reason why I say that is because I'm like, I think that kind of ideology is dangerous.
But that's what it is.
I don't think so. Because it's like saying if I play Call of Duty, I'm going to go shoot up something.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
There's a bunch of studies, scientific studies that say that it's completely the opposite effect. That people playing video games actually are less likely to commit crimes because they got the aggression up.
I don't think you get what I'm saying.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I was commenting on what she said.
The music is throwing fuel to the fire. That's what I'm saying.
You think the music is throwing fuel to the fire?
Yes.
So what do you think the remedy of that is?
At least if somebody wants to like, okay, if we've been seeing a lot of like crazy incidents with like shootings and things like that, right? With a nigga who's gonna do that, he's gonna do that anyway, and he's gonna put his AirPods in, and even if it's System of a Down or if it's a crazy Eminem song, you get what I'm saying? He's gonna find that theme music to go do that shit anyway. At least not let it be black culture.
I disagree, because here's what I'm saying. Because what these artists are doing are giving you a window into their world.
Right.
Now, what you're saying essentially is like, say, not let it be black culture. Are you saying that none of these artists should use their gift to like talk about their struggles and what they've been through, what they feel like? Like, that's what art is. It's basically kind of censoring art.
But is that really what music is right now?
No, because I'm saying
a lot of the music is like, even if they're talking, it is subjective. However, it's just like, it almost feels like there's a certain message that's being perpetuated. You get what I'm saying? Because music has definitely evolved and changed, where rap wasn't always about killing each other.
Rap has evolved and changed. I feel like people are talking about,
but music has too.
Yeah,
because even when you listen to R&B and shit like that, like, it's definitely
the times change.
But I that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that it's that cycle again. It's like the music is indicative. It's an image of what's going on in the time.
That's what I was trying to bring you back to.
And I understand.
So you always say too, SJ. Art is a reflection of reality. It's not the other way around. So in the end of the day, if you're getting drug music, it's because that's what's happening.
Yes.
So in the end of the day, it's like,
but you don't
people are not doing Temptations and what's my imagination, because that's not what's happening right now.
Right.
A part of our culture is unity and monogamous relationships is not that popular anymore. People are fucking everybody. So
I think if we want to at least try to steer it in a different direction, we can start by what influences what's cool as inside of our culture.
But I think
if something is not like ice, like when we were growing up, or like 90s hip hop, it wasn't cool. It was cool to sell drugs, not do drugs.
Yes, because that's not what was happening.
Yes, it was, because it was crackheads.
I was about to say, we had a stigma against crackheads, but the crackheads weren't like, everybody does drugs now. Like,
hold on. Think about it though. Like when crack came out, that was a pandemic.
Yeah.
Just like how we see the COVID pandemic.
And at the time,
crack, you'd walk through Harlem, you'll see zombies. It was a pandemic.
And they made music.
But people weren't talking about being like on crack.
What?
Being on crack.
Not crack, but they would see. Look, so let's
Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, no. You got to go back. At the time when they were talking about drugs and doing drugs and parties, they were not calling it crack. There was different word names for certain drugs. Music in the 70s, the Bee Gees. There were a lot of songs that were made about drugs. Do you not know how?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It was normal back
then. But like
then.
how Lil Pump and all these niggas now is like
normal right now.
But if drugs was popular in the 80s and it's popular now, why are we perpetuating it now?
It wasn't popular in the 80s. All right, so in the 80s, the stigma already, so the 70s and the 60s is when the drugs was like coming in. Everybody was using drugs. There was fucking coke in the fucking sodas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then when the studies found out what it can do to people, it stopped being cool. And then they slowly in the 80s, the new wave started with like, all right, that shit is bad. It's fucking up families. It's tearing apart homes. And niggas are still selling it, but that was the years of the users. So the late 80s into the 90s. Then niggas started finding a new drug was like pills and like synthesized heroin and shit, where doctors are giving it to you. And it's like, nobody's seeing the bad effect of it. Like, it's like, it comes in like 10-year waves. Like, okay, this is what we're doing now. 10 years later, it's not good. You know what I mean? So it's like, the doctors is giving it to you. There's not no wave against like, there was no image of like crackheads or pill popping heads or whatever. Like, there was no like Lil Yachty's and no XXX and when we were growing up. So it wasn't a thing for us. Me, I didn't take my first pill until I was like fucking my mid-20s or my early 20s. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know anything about it. So once it became well known and aware, like this is something that's demising society, then the narrative changes. I don't feel like the music is like, hey, this new drug came out. It does this. I know that it's fucking up everybody's body up. I'm gonna make a song about why you should do it. You know what I mean? I don't think that's what it is. I think it's indicative of what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, I agree too. I just think that there's a certain way that not even musicians, just as us in our culture, that we can gatekeep things that we do. Okay. I believe in that because I see other cultures do it.
Like what?
But I mean,
like a Jewish culture. You know what I mean? They gatekeep their kosher, their food. You get what I'm saying? They gatekeep their churches, their communities. Their money circles within their community and doesn't leave their community almost more than 10 times over than the black community.
I hear what you say. I just think it's a little different though.
Why?
I think it's the same thing.
But even if you think about,
it's the same thing. It's culture. It's all culture. If we say
about like Jewish versus Christian, like how many Christians that's out here like?
No, I'm not only talking about religion. I'm talking about culture.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Culture, religion is part of culture.
So the Jewish people, like they're not. There's no. I can be Jewish tomorrow, if I started following Judaism. You know what I'm saying? So by saying like we should try to make the black culture.
When I talk about it, like when you go to Brooklyn and you see the Hasidic Jews, and you see that they share a community in a particular way where. They buy from the same places. They go to school the same places.
I agree with that, but that's still,
right. It's almost like it's like a hyper version of gatekeeping your environment, your world.
Economy. Yeah, well,
yeah.
And I hear. So I'm not trying to be like a hard ass or whatever. And I agree with you on that fact. I feel like black people should unify, but you gotta understand
it's just gatekeeping.
So gatekeeping. Let's just talk about gatekeeping. Fuck that. Fuck the religion. Fuck whatever. So gatekeeping, I agree with. But as far as it's two reasons why I think this is going to be tough. Usually, just like you said, that we're adults now. We got to kind of like decipher music. Mm-hmm. We're not making the trend-setting things anymore. Like that's not us anymore. That's not us anymore.
Who's not?
The 30
in particular,
30 and up group. You know what I mean?
You're wrong.
You think that 30 and up are making trends for 18 and
I do
in the 20s rappers?
Because Kanye still is.
I disagree. Like
Kanye's not still one of the most influential people in black culture.
Yes, in black culture.
And how old is he?
I don't think Kanye's music is
it's not only his music.
But this is what we're talking about. We're talking about music right now, right?
We're talking about culture.
Okay, so now we started talking about Eminem and his wordplay and putting you on the drums.
And that's why I said, at least as black culture, let's gatekeep that so we're not perpetuating it as a culture. That's what I'm really trying to say at the end of the day.
And I agree with that.
But I think
aspect,
it's also way deeper than even just drugs. Because look at the state of the dynamics of relationships. And think about R&B music. And growing up, Creep, So I Creep, SWV, most of their songs is about being a side bitch.
All right, so we're not all over the place, right? Because I kind of get that vibe. Yeah, I get that vibe from you, right? Just so we're not all over the place, right? We're first talking about the Mount Rushmore, exactly. Right? Let's all agree that
Still
Eminem.
didn't pick a number 4. You said Eminem.
Let's all agree that Eminem should be on there, right?
Yeah.
So we came from saying that Eminem should be on number 4, and I said one thing I did not like about Eminem is him exposing me to the clinical terms to a lot of these drugs that exposes me as a young child to know what I can get high off of. Mm-hmm. You know? Like I remember seeing the movie Kids and they were doing whippets, right? Okay. And without seeing that movie, I would never know that you can inhale nitrous oxide or whatever it is and get high off of that. And that's a whippet, you know? Like a child's mind is delicate, you know? And it's open and it's like taking things in. And, just like how, you know, somebody could grow up sheltered and not really be exposed to too many things and they get to
You think the kids now are overexposed?
Yes.
But there's also the internet.
Okay. You want to know my disposition?
Mm-hmm.
So, in a nutshell,
yeah,
I understood what you were saying, and the argument I was making is that I feel like your disposition is more censoring versus my freedom of speech and us taking care of what our kids are doing within inside of the homes and surroundings. I hear what you're saying, and I don't feel that the influence of artists in games or any type of entertainment is as big as people try to make it seem. The same way you listen to Eminem and heard those things, and maybe, I don't know if he wanted to do drugs or whatever, I listened to Eminem as well. I have family members, cousins that listen to Eminem, and none of us, I didn't have no urge to do drugs. I played video games.
I'm not saying I had like urge to do drugs. Let me give a better example too, because it's not really about censoring. It's when I say gatekeeping, it's like because a culture, like people within a culture, they're loyal to their community in the culture and to what they do. You know, like I remember having white friends, you know, the white boys that wear lobster shorts and boat shoes, right? Mm-hmm. One day, one of my white friends, he came home and he was wearing a fitted, right? And his father goes, "Take that hat off. You look stupid." A fitted, just because, and like everybody wears baseball caps. And it's just because, this is one example, and it's anecdotal because it's like my experience, but just because he was wearing a fitted like a rapper. And a fitted is like seeing like a white kid with a fitted, straight rim fitted. You can tell he listens to hip hop and he's exposed to that culture. He went home. His father told him he looks dumb, right? He took that off and put back on his fucked up bass shop hat, right? Or whatever, you know, Ron John hat or whatever, you know? Dad hat type shit. Mm-hmm. And it's basically, he's exposed to the culture. He's exposed to black culture. It's not that he's censored from black culture, but as soon as he went back home, his father let him know we don't do that inside this culture.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
And that's what we need to do.
And I'm fine with that.
With our culture.
So that's what I'm saying. Because the reason why
we don't do that.
So here's what I was saying is I think it's very dangerous to stop art from being art. Because just like not a newborn baby, but a young kid needs to be exposed to bacteria so his body knows how to defend on it, I feel like you can't censor people from everything that's going on in the world and then send them out there and be like, you're free to be an adult. Because in the end of the day, they're still going to see it. And not even if they're adult, kids are going to see shit that you don't want them to see. I was watching porno on the fucking scrambly ass TV when we ain't had no, and trying to make out a tit from, you know, my parents didn't know about it.
No, I agree with you.
At the end of the day, kids are gonna find a way to do shit they're not supposed to do. I feel like sheltering them from the world and pretending like these things don't exist and not talking to them and guiding them in the right direction is the wrong way. And on top of that,
I know I get what you're saying, but that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you what I thought you were saying and what I was defending. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. What did you say, Shay?
I forgot. No, I was saying, so I have kids. Uh-huh. I have a 15-year-old boy who loves NBA YoungBoy, he loves all of that.
Okay.
I feel like the brain neurology, the way that works is even if they're going to be exposed to everything, I feel like we as adults and as artists and as people who are creating these worlds that these kids are exposed to, we have a responsibility to give them a fighting chance. Yes, there's going to be things they're going to find out about. Yes, they're going to learn everything, and we should be open to having those conversations. But I think that there should be a lot more responsibility held within the art we're making, because not all of this art is really just like art. Like, I'm sorry, but like, especially like a lot of the songs that are coming out is just like, is it art or is it, I'm sorry, but it's like trash. It's just like, they're not saying anything but fuck a bitch, suck a bitch. And they're not like, I listen to it. I listen to everything. Anything that my kids share with me, they go out into the world, they see the world. I don't hide them from shit. However, it is my responsibility to, number one, have those conversations. And most parents aren't available to have those conversations. A lot of parents aren't always having those conversations. So you don't think that when we're making music about a lot of, like, even like that WAP song, right? I have a 12-year-old daughter. She listens to that and she's singing it. And I'm like, yo, do you know what you're listening to? And she has no idea. She has no idea what the fuck she's listening to, but she hears these words, hears these things. She hears like all these jokes. She's exposed to TikTok. And I literally have to sit with her and question, do you understand what you're singing? Do you understand what you're listening to? I think that artists do have somewhat of a responsibility of what they put out to this world. Yes, it's a parent's job to help filter that, help them understand that. But when you're just you're just making music about like just the community, not like killing niggas. Like, yes, it may be what's going on, but does that really have to be what the music is? Does it?
You
don't think that it's too much?
Real quick, I think we're missing a really important puzzle piece in all of this. There's nothing else in the world like rap music. Meaning that, remember when I was telling you like rap is like a biography? Like a kid can go see a X-rated or TVMA movie that they shouldn't be seeing, right? Mm-hmm. And they can go home and they understand that those are actors and this is a story, but and it's not real life. But listen, but rap is something where we hold rappers to a standard to where if you're not being transparent with your real life and that's not really you, we not fucking with it. So
I don't think everybody understands that, especially kids. I do not think they understand that. You don't think that kids really think that Young Thug is in these streets? They really think he is. That's
what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. So like, even when they watch a movie, they don't know it's not real until you tell them wrestling's not real.
I disagree with that. Yeah. I disagree with that because I don't know.
We grew up
so here's the thing I'm gonna say. I don't want to use you and your kids as an example because I don't want to say anything personal.
No, it's okay.
But for me growing up and for my sisters, I played a huge part in raising my sisters. I'm not saying I have kids, but that's as close as I got to it. I never in my life thought that I can go outside and just DDT a man. Never in my life. I did think 50 Cent was really a gangster. I really thought he was about that life.
You see what I mean?
And I get that. Yeah. But it never made me I feel like I took the energies out of those things.
Yes.
And I was like, I want to be more like 50 in this manner.
Yeah.
I want to be like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be more Aki. I want to be more aggressive. But I never wanted to hurt people. That's just not who I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you met today's kids?
And
they take everything literally.
I don't think that's the truth. I feel like
I see it.
I don't know what it is. I literally see
these little kids. They listen to the music. They go into the community. The dudes in the community are living the same way that the music is saying.
But Sade, that's different from movies. I don't think
music.
No, we're talking about culture and influence and how transparent the influence is within the culture to make it believable or not.
And you really think that it's not believable?
I'm not gonna
even think about that WAP song.
I'm not gonna
Offset
front, right?
literally made a video.
I never thought Santa Claus was real.
Me neither.
I never thought wrestling was real because I know how a punch looks.
Yeah.
I never thought all of this things were real. Like I just knew it was like kind of a game type of thing.
It wasn't like that I thought it was real, but I didn't think it was scripted. I thought it was like, I don't know what I thought, but I knew it wasn't real. I know niggas wasn't stomping and punching and then somebody I knew it wasn't real. But I never did I think the stuff that was real was like something that I needed to go do. Because I knew I wasn't going to. I wasn't allowed to do certain shit. I wasn't able to do certain shit.
Exactly. You had a household filter. And that's what I'm talking about. Think about the kids who don't have that household filter where
they're
not.
Don't you think that's a bigger problem there?
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying like, okay, if most of the parents have to work 60 hours. Most parents are working all day and aren't home with their kids. A lot of parents or a lot of people are literally depending on their teachers and what their kids are exposed to. That's what their kids learn. And especially when you come to a certain age, you're not listening to your parents. Up until your kid's about 12, you have all the influence. So what you were exposed to up until you were 12, your parents would tell you. Yes, when your parents tell you not to do something, you're curious and you want to find out more about it. Yeah. Your parents are your filter. A lot of these kids don't have that filter.
And so the answer to that is what?
I'm saying that there should be just a little bit more interest in how we're influencing the kids. You said, and I'm not
opposed.
That's
to
what
I'm
saying. I'm not saying take out drugs. I'm not saying take out all this thing. I'm not saying censor everything. I'm saying there should be a little bit more consideration that these kids do hear this stuff. Like they're exposed to everything. They can go on the internet and look up anything. Yes, they can find anything. But you don't think that as adults, understanding how influential you are and what you're showing and what you're sharing, it doesn't impact these kids? You really don't think that there's kids out here thinking they want to be Young Thug and they're looking at it just like that? They're not listening to NBA YoungBoy. They're not listening to all the music that's out, and they don't want to pop a perky so they can feel how fucking Future feels. You really think that the music that they're listening to doesn't have an impact, especially when they don't have no filter? Especially when they don't listen to nobody?
One thing that we're missing, right? My fault. Hip hop, even if you have good parents, hip hop is still going to be a tutorial on how to go out there and maneuver and move. You know what I'm saying? Because your pops is still your pops, and he's still cool. But there's something about being a kid and watching Jay-Z move, right? And watching the coolest nigga that move around and just learning how to wear your hat off of him, because you're not gonna wear it. Your dad is old. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna. A lot of things your parents can't really be as impressionable on you as Lil Baby or Lil Wayne.
Get it from TV, culture, internet, social media.
Even though our parents are gonna influence a certain way, these rappers are still tutorials on how to be cool. Think about
baddie culture and how the little girls are dressing. Little girls did not dress the way they dress then. When I was 13 and 13-year-olds now, they're not dressing the same. They're watching city girls. They're all wearing lace fronts. They're wearing belly shirts, and it's okay. Like, girls will be girls and boys will be boys, and they will all figure out how to do it. But the ones they're watching the most are on social media, are in music. They're listening to that, and they're trying to embody those lifestyles. They're scared. You can't say that music or that there's no responsibility on an artist to think about how he's impacting the people who are listening to his music, which is mostly kids.
I disagree with Sade, just on the fact that
I feel like you have too much power.
Yeah, art is still art, right? Like, I should be able to make a movie that disturbs you and makes you feel like pissed off a movie, right? And you shouldn't internalize it because it's art, and it's because it's a movie.
So hold on, let me real quick. I get all the points you're saying. I do feel like there is some influence when it comes to art. I'm just gonna say art in general. But what world are we gonna it's a very slippery slope when you're saying, like, I know you're saying this, they should take responsibility. That's not going to change. People are going to feel how they feel and be artists, whoever are artists, and put it on wax, put it on film, put it in the game. That's just art. Art is not something that can be contained. It cannot be structured. It's free creativity.
So you don't see a pattern of artists who are, like, to be honest, I feel like there's an agenda. because
I don't feel like
I do, and I feel like that, especially like within rap and the rappers that are out now. You see a lot of young men losing their lives, and a lot of the stuff they're doing is illegal, and the same shit they rap about, they're getting locked up for, they're losing their lives for, they're becoming drug addicted for, and it's because they're living a lifestyle that's perpetuated in music.
Yeah,
you can't.
I feel that's the reason.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think there's somebody that's who's like
okay, then why isn't there a bigger? There's a whole bunch of conscious artists. Why isn't that the music that's on the radio?
I don't think it's
nobody wants to hear that.
That's what I'm. That's
I
what
disagree,
I'm saying.
Sade.
People like bad shit.
The reason
it's more tantalizing.
Sade, the reason why I disagree is because it's not the music that's the problem. It's the transparency that's the problem. It's that the rappers really have to be that. That's the problem. Okay, people can make all the movies they want, but if Al Pacino was really Scarface, that would be a problem.
That would be a big problem.
That it's the transparency that's the problem, not the actual music. I think people should make all the crazy songs. Imagine not hearing Kim by Eminem. Because you can't talk about domestic violence and we don't want that.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
Think if Eminem was really somebody that went to jail 11 times for beating the shit out of his girlfriend and people are glorifying him, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening.
I don't think
that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what's happening.
You're saying that.
I'm not saying
they should censor the music.
No, I didn't say censor. I didn't say censor at all. I never said censor. I said consider. I didn't say censor. I said consider. That's it.
I hear what you're saying. I do feel like it falls on some of the responsibility of an artist. But at the end of the day, that's the same thing that like I said, when I said it's not the 30-year-olds that's making that type of music, other than, like, you gotta understand there's a young people that is making this music. And if you're telling me that, like, can you imagine young 18-year-old you like, yo, don't make this song about titties jumping or whatever, because it may...
We gotta make that.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make, like, my nigga, like, what? This is what I'm going through. What are you talking about? I can't use my fucking, this pain I got inside me or this shit, this anger I got I could be going out there and killing somebody. I could go sell these drugs and move this pack. Right. I could kill myself. So I'm doing this instead, and I'm relating to other people. And that's the thing, like, we're not talking about how many people have you seen go, like, you could go on YouTube right now and go to Eminem song, this nigga saved my life. This man made me not want to kill myself. This man made me not want to do, like, nobody talks about that.
But what do you think when,
Yeah, one more thing, my fault. And also, on video games, because this is something I've been arguing since I was a kid. It's been scientifically proven, and they keep trying to go back to it when these shootings happen. Scientifically proven by mad different studies, that people that play video games are less likely to commit crimes because they got rid of the aggression in the game. So that's been debunked several times over. Several times over. So I don't know. I feel like I get it. There should be, but I do feel, me personally, I feel like it falls on the parents. Majoritarily. If you have parents, if you have kids and you're not watching your kids and feeding them the knowledge they have and feeding them the value and putting value onto certain things in life, then that's like, look at Bad Baby, like that kid, whatever, like.
But there's only so much a parent can do.
There's only so much a parent can influence.
You don't have no kids.
Because
there's only
as a man,
so
this is why I didn't want to go there.
Because as a man,
it's okay, but I'm just saying, like,
disagree.
there's only but so much. Like, I've been in my kids' life their whole entire life. We talk about everything.
I don't think this is why I don't want to go in this conversation, because
it's okay.
I would have to say certain.
No. First of all, I think of all, we all know it. We all tight with each other. We're not going to offend each other.
I know.
This is all talking. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if after the show somebody, like, we packing up and somebody's like, oh, I'm not talking.
Nah,
we can iron that out. It's never going to be that serious.
It's not. It's
about having a conversation.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, by saying, there's just certain things, like,
what? Say it.
I don't know. I just feel like it does fall on the parent.
The reason I say that it falls on the parents until a degree, because as a young boy turning into a young man, he needs to find his own way.
Yes.
And he finds his
there's
own
not shit I
way.
can say.
He finds his own way through culture,
Uh-huh.
through his friends,
Uh-huh.
through falling down and getting back up.
Uh-huh.
Right? And one thing that parents and their kids have in common is that we are in this thing called Black culture.
Okay.
And we are contained in this Black culture.
Okay.
And there's certain things Black culture does and doesn't do. For example, think about if washing your meat, right? No more.
Okay.
Washing your chicken.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or using a washcloth.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Think about certain things that we do in our culture that other people don't do in their culture, but it's just things that we
Who'd
do.
you learn it from?
It's culture. You learn
your
it.
culture didn't teach you to wash your meat. Your mom did.
But who taught her?
But that's what I'm saying. It's not. We're not about to see now. That's just like we're jumping over. Like we're going.
No.
Like,
I'm trying to say the parents. I understand that the parents teach the kids the culture, but we're both intertwined in this culture. There's still things that because the culture is evolving as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not doing the same things that our parents did in the club because of culture.
Yeah.
Like they were doing electric slides, synchronized dancing, and now we wind it with girls and stuff like that.
It's working now.
Exactly. We're learning different aspects of the culture through different.
And I get that. There's
parts.
certain things that I feel like you're gonna find on your own. You're gonna make your own mistakes. You're gonna do your own things. But at the end of the day, I base my values and the things there's things I won't do based off morality because of my mother and my father. It's just I can't. It just doesn't feel right. I still hear them like that's not me.
Yeah.
It's to the point where it's just like there's been a lot of things in Black culture like doing drugs and fucking being a bit. I tried the drug dealer thing out for a little bit and it just fucked up my conscience. I'm not even gonna say I had like so. At the end of the day. The influence, I'm about to say some shit. But anyways, my parents guided me through those things. There's certain things that they embedded in me that I just can't. At first, I couldn't see myself doing to now that it's not me.
Well, you're very, very lucky to have both of your parents.
And
that's my point is that not most of these kids do not have that.
And
that's been something that's been perpetuated
so what about
in our
all
culture.
the kids that don't have both parents that did well, like my brother or like my cousins or like my friends?
Some people figure it out, and I'm just saying there's just generally people who didn't have that and can't figure it out, and their only influence was the society they were in, their environment, and music. Like I look at a bunch of kids, especially when we talk about the whole crack era and that whole thing. There's mad kids that I did not realize were raising themselves growing up, and some of them made it, and some of them fucking didn't. Most of them didn't. I think
I feel like that result is indicative of not having parents. Like it's like I feel like that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that music doesn't have an influence, but you just said two big ass major things that like I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad, and I'm raising myself. That's something that is detriment to somebody's growth. Nurture versus nature is a huge ass factor in psychology. It's like we're not gonna sit here and say, "Damn, he don't got no parents." If this music didn't exist, he'd have been all right. No, he probably would have been doing something else. He has no guidance.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that a lot of the kids don't have the tools that you had to figure that out.
And I understand that, but I feel like that's the bigger problem.
There's definitely a bigger problem. I'm just saying, as people who are creating art and creating music, there's people who will be affected by it, and some of them don't have those tools to figure that out. And I'm just saying, and like it's just like even when we look at like social media, there's a lot of girls who are struggling with body image and how they look because it's something that's perpetuated. They see it all over the place. And they see it on social media and then they hear it in music and they feel like they have to be a certain way because this is what everybody's doing. This is the music that's out. Yes, a lot of people are strong enough to say, I'm going to be myself. And that's becoming better with time. But we also see a lot of like mental health struggles and people who can't decipher that. People who can't make the difference between real and fake, and they hear the music and they hear it as real. And all I'm saying is just consider. I'm not saying change the music because I listen to every fucking thing. I listen to everything.
You know what it is? You know what it is for me?
It took a mindset to say, okay, I hear this, and sometimes I have to like transmute the song and I have to say different words. But I can't lie that I've listened to like lots of music, and during certain eras, I perpetuated a certain behavior because I was more influential, easily influenced by what everyone else around me was doing, especially my peers, especially in the music. Because like if we think about like Dipset, everybody dressed a certain way. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it has a lot more power than we realize. Like we're saying it's just art, it's just art, it's just art. Yeah, but it has so much power. It has so much power. And I don't think a lot of people are just taking a cop out. I was like, oh, this is just my experience. And it's like, okay, that's your experience. And somebody may be able to hear that. But there's a lot of people who are easily influenced by that. So you don't think that there should just be a little bit more consideration into like what you're trying to impact or how you're trying to influence and the frequency you're trying to bring people into?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm stuck on a fence between. You have a very plausible argument. I'm not saying you don't, but I'm kind of biased because I feel like as a creative person, I don't think I don't know. I feel like and I don't even fucking make music.
And I'm a creative person.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as we're talking about music. Like I don't make music like that anymore. But I'm just thinking like, I don't think I would want to live in a world where it's like people can't have that. At what point can we say what we feel?
See, I don't know. I think I'm like being like misinterpreted, right? But the analogy I'm trying to make is you have Jamaican parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine your Jamaican parents or somebody that just came from Jamaica, right? You giving one of them like a Pop-Tart. What's going to happen?
I don't want that.
I want this.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
That same example is because that's not part of their culture. That's not what they do.
Mm-hmm.
If we could apply that to our culture within music, that's not what we talk about. That's not what we do.
But you're still like,
people can still make Pop-Tarts, but we just don't eat it.
That's fine.
And I think
that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm not against that.
Right.
I'm saying you consume what you want to consume. But let's not say that.
Let's just not make it cool for us to consume it. That's it.
That's fine. That's fine.
I think that
consume what you want. I don't really like the song WAP. I thought it was a little bit much. But at the end of the day, I don't want to live in a world where people are not allowed to make those songs. I don't want to live in a world where I gotta censor myself.
But I mean, there's always been racy songs. You get what I'm saying? I just think it's just a lot more blunt and aggressive. I agree with, and that's it's just like I'm sorry, but some of this shit is not artistic. And they're just saying I suck dick and I love it. And like, okay, that's fine, but I'm sorry, but certain things don't. Like, okay, yeah, you're an artist and you need to express yourself, but why the fuck do you need to say? I'm sorry, certain shit. Just like you didn't need to say that.
I agree with you, and that's why you see me sitting here like in my mind, just like really thinking hard. I'm almost breaking my brain for the simple fact that I get what you're saying, but then it's like the same way that shit, like if I would, like who's going to be the judge? Because if I'm saying, yeah, WAP, I don't like that song. That shit was a lot. That shit was like, no, not, in my opinion, not very creative. It's just extra. But then somebody could be like, yo, Kim can't exist if this can't exist. And I'm just like.
But think about it. I think I think maybe that's what I'm thinking about is it's like there's, okay, who's in control of who pushes certain music? Who's signing certain people? There's a lot more music than what we're hearing on the radio. You hear the same fucking song all the time on the radio. That's just money, and that's money, that's even when you look at E-News, and even when you look at why the Kardashians are even popular, it's just like, why the fuck are we choosing to feed and pay attention to the stuff we're paying attention to?
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's the thing. Like I don't pay attention to those things.
I'm saying the general masses are feeding a certain ideology that isn't healthy for our communities, our children, or ourselves.
I guess I can agree with that.
I'm sorry, but if this music is a representation of our culture, I don't fucking want to be.
But you got to understand, we had a conversation the other day, and I know we're about to wrap it up, but I just got to say this. We had a conversation the other day talking like, just like, I don't think 5-6 years ago, hip hop passed rock and roll for the first time as being the number one genre of music in the world. And with one genre with something being the number one in the world, it's no longer black culture. It's the world's culture. It's the most popular genre around of the world. So I get it. Yes, the origin is black, but there's Indian rappers, there's Latino rappers, there's African rappers, there's Russian rappers. We can't control everything anymore because it's around the world.
So reggae music is for white people?
What you mean?
So reggae music is, that's what I'm saying. Reggae music is always going to be Jamaican music.
Yeah, it is, but we can't stop white people from making it.
That's what I'm saying, but it's still always going to be represented by Jamaicans.
In a sense, kind of.
Yeah. It's reggae music.
But what I'm trying to say is but I get you. What I'm saying is that the same way you had the Island Boys, them niggas is not even fucking Caribbean.
And they deaded that shit.
They didn't dead it. That shit was popping for dumb long.
Are they still here?
They're not, because them niggas were corny as fuck. But look at fucking all these other artists.
That's the power I'm talking about.
All right, but who moves the needle?
What do you mean?
For reggae music. I'm using the reggae music example because
Jamaicans, what you mean? Like,
it's always going to be like that. We're always.
I don't know that anymore because you got Afro beats. And Afro beats is literally just fucking Jamaican music with an African accent on it. That's what Afro beats is.
But like the root is reggae music, and then the subsidiary is Afro.
But if they decide to start talking about whatever they decide to talk about, Afro beats is what's popping right now.
Yeah,
Jamaicans don't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. They have, obviously, because that's what Afro beats is reggae music with African type tones to it. But if they decide to start taking a negative way of the music and start talking about some shit, Jamaica can't control that.
No, but it's a subsidiary. We know they turned it into something totally different.
But that's kind
of like trap deriving from hip hop.
I hear you, but what I'm saying is, so like at the end of the day, let's say trap derived from hip hop. We know that. Let's say the majority of trap artists were white, and they're talking about just doing drugs. And if it is as popular it is, who's gonna stop? Black people ain't gonna be like, that's not cool no more.
But
we can't stop it.
But we have the power to listen to it and
circulate
it throughout our. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and that's fine. But I'm just I was just talking about as far as saying we have power to like control where the music goes. At this point, at this level, it's not. It's the world's now. We gave it to the world.
But that's where you get the problem. Because who's signing and who's putting certain artists on, and they have to have a certain look, and they have to be talking about a certain thing, and those same artists go end up in jail.
I still think the streets is the Pulse. I still think that.
I feel like that's.
I don't think that the Billboard charts is the pulse of hip hop.
Of course. All right. So I hear what you're saying. I'm not trying to say it is. Right now, I don't think there's any other than Afro beats that kind of just changed. They like you don't hear reggae no more. All you hear is Afro beats now. I feel like yes, right now they still got to come back to the well, but as time changes, how long is it going to be like that?
I think when you talk about pop music, pop is it's kind of like it's not a loyal genre. It's gimmicky. You know,
yeah,
it's like
But you don't think there's something
to that? It's curated for.
It's like the McDonald's of music.
Yeah, it's basically
it's not culture is home cooked food.
Yeah,
like pop music is like almost like synthetic, artificial food in the sense, So I don't think that the pulse is gonna be determined by the top Billboard 100s, and I think the pulse is always gonna be determined by what the streets is listening to and what the streets like, and then it's gonna derive like those kids getting sturdy and listening to all the Pop Smoke shit in their hood, they're gonna determine the next Pop Smoke. You know, but the labels and all that, they're gonna figure out what the kids are determining what they like now, and they're gonna try to manipulate the next avatar who is Pop Smoke.
That's one thing I don't feel like there's like a secret agenda of music to like destroy a community. I don't. I honestly like feel like if that was the case, then Kendrick couldn't exist.
That's why he's
Jay-Z
so important.
couldn't have gone this far.
That's exactly why he's important.
But see, that's the thing. Like, this is the thing.
Because how did he get past all that?
This is the thing about me with conspiracies and shit. And I don't want to call it a conspiracy, but this is the way I see it. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I don't believe that because Kendrick, if that was the model, if that was the plan, Kendrick couldn't exist. Common couldn't exist. Jay-Z couldn't go the way he went and still be successful. It would not work because it doesn't fit the agenda.
All right, so I
feel like people in general. Hold on. I just feel like people in general, like let's be honest, bro. Do you want to go to church or do you want to go to the club? Like, let's be honest. You want to go get some drinks or you want to read the Bible tonight?
It's Uchi Iwali and one mic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's always gonna be both. It's duality. What I'm trying to say is, in this thing in rap, the biggest bag wins.
Yeah.
The biggest bag wins. So you have to remember, just like how the streets determine what's next, the bag determines what's gonna be the most impressionable or the most influenced. You get what I'm saying? Like, somebody with a big bag needs to go behind Gino Brown and push his music.
So I get what you're saying, but I just don't know where you go. I'm trying to follow you.
I'm trying to say that there's always a gatekeeper because the nigga with the biggest bag wins. Person out the hood that don't really got the big bag.
That's the agenda
to take him to another level.
But that's the agenda. It's money. I don't believe the agenda is, he's talking, this nigga is talking to, I can't even say, can you beat that out and edit? Nah, but we got, come on, we had to talk, Anyways, this black guy, he's talking too positive. Close it. I don't care how much money he has. Fuck that. I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening at all. And I feel like that's like insane. I don't know. Nobody's turning down money and the opportunity to make money because you know what? What's more important is keeping these niggas down. I don't think that's happening.
I think you underestimate how the only reason I say this because I've seen it. Like I did have seen it. I'm gonna be vague. But I seen a situation where an artist got signed and they wanted to deal with this artist in third person, right? They did not want to meet this artist, so they got somebody else to act like they represented the label when it was this person signing the artist. And they were gonna put this kid in position. This whole thing is layered. I have so much to say in this little bit because when you talk about the kid who just did the shooting in Buffalo, right? He was talking about what is it, critical race theory or no, race replacement theory.
Okay.
He was talking about race replacement theory, and if you look online, you see a lot of people talking about this concept of certain races becoming extinct in the near future, and them trying to keep their influence alive. Right? I think you're underestimating the fact that people are trying to keep. It's silly to me. But they're trying to keep certain cultures and certain aspects of culture the main influence and superior on other cultures.
So you're saying that there's people there's a group of.
It's not a group. It's something that is like
systematic.
I don't even want to say systematic. It's something that it's understood. it's understood on some like.
I really hope y'all don't hate me for this. What I'm about to say, and I'm not denying.
I'm not. You can say anything. I won't hate you for it.
So I'm not saying I don't believe this people, because I've seen interviews with people that want to keep the white purity and all that. I've seen that.
I didn't say white.
I've seen white supremacists on interviews saying that they don't want their bloodline muddied by any other culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen a few rich people say that. And it was like crazy interviews I've seen. I can't source them, but I'll look them up tonight to have some fucking source. But anyways, I don't think I don't think anything trumps money ever when it comes to corporations. I feel like these things where like anytime there's no like, I feel like negativity is always going to be, or not even negativity, promiscuity, sex, things that are taboo are always going to supersede being good, and because it's not fun to just be good, or we shouldn't listen to this, we shouldn't do that. It's not fun. So I think people are always going to want to do the thing that is a stimulus hit, or it feels good. I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but it's good. It feels great. It's bad. I want to do it. I also, which bigger than that, I feel like it's detriment to black culture when we like, if and I don't want to say.
Let me ask. Can I ask you a question?
Hold on, I just want to say this one thing. If we point at things half without like being like 1,000% sure and saying this is it's racism and it's an agenda. This is also racism as an agenda. This is also racism as an agenda. Because it's like by doing that, we're taking legitimacy away from the things that are actually fucking us over. And I feel like that shit is something that we gotta stop doing. And I'm not saying that what you're saying is not valid. I don't know. From my knowledge, I don't believe that. Until you show me something that could like change my mind, I can't.
Yeah, and it's kind of like seeing a ghost. It's like nobody can tell me I didn't see that ghost. You
and I feel you. And
then like, I didn't see it. I would never believe that.
But I would lie to you if I was sit here and lie to you and say, "Oh yeah, you're right, dog." That's not, you know what I mean?
Right. Like, let me ask you a question though, right? Why do you think we're the only culture that talks like intensely about killing each other?
Because we're the only culture that's been fucking put through what we've been through, and we live in a state of, well, the ghettos is like growing up in the hood or in a hostile environment. That's what's normal in our environment. It's normal. Like if you grow up in Afghanistan during war, what's normal to you and what's normal to fucking Billy living in fucking suburbs in a safe neighborhood, our ways of speaking is different.
So black people are the only people that live that way?
I'm not saying they're the only people that live that way, but that's pretty much the distinction between races is skin. You can't really tell. So the easiest person to systematically affect with racism is people that look dark. So
why aren't like impoverished poor people in Pakistan talking about killing each other in their songs?
They all look the same. It's impoverished, but I'm sure they're just not like over here.
But we all look the same.
We don't all look the same. In America?
Like, black people.
But I'm trying to say, like, so, I'm even impoverished places, I'm not saying, and I hope I'm not being ignorant, and if I am, I apologize, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think the systematic racism it's not like that in the Middle East.
So there is systematic racism. That's what you're saying.
In America, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course.
So I'm asking, why are we the only culture?
Because if you grow up in the hood without your father and there's limited resources, and the only way to get resources is by doing illegal shit, which implicates you into situations where violence is prevalent and normal. Nigga, this is your normal state. You can't go to bro. Did you know, like, if men in the military, testosterone is higher than a civilian state, like being in a civilian environment. Why? Because you're around majority-wise men. When a bunch of men are together, their body creates more testosterone. That's just something that's a fact scientifically. Now imagine you're in a place where you're constantly in a place where you might die, or this nigga might turn on you, or you might get arrested and get sent away for the rest of your life. Your whole shit you can't be regular. You're not going to be like, hey, how's the day going today?
I'm saying that I don't think that we're the only culture that lives like that.
How not?
You don't think that if you go to China that there's people that live in the same same way?
Not the same as us, no.
Or Tibet?
Not the same as us. I'm not saying not being impoverished. It's not the same as, like, it's not, they're not sitting there facing jail time or selling crack and cocaine to the neighbors or whatever. It's not like that. No, I don't think it's impoverished.
So you don't think that? So you don't think there's like poor drug dealers like somewhere in fucking like
no? Where are they gonna get it from?
What about meth? What about meth dealers? They literally are the crack dealers of Black culture. Like, they create meth in labs using chemicals they buy and find, and they sell it to white suburbia. Meth is really big.
So
like,
you're saying wait, hold on.
That's what I'm saying. White people.
You're saying that we're the only place in this whole world where we live in the ways that you said. So there's not Chinese people that live like that. There's not Indian people that live like that.
I don't think it's the
There's
same.
not.
Tell me when they dropped cocaine in India and provided them with the drugs.
Or even like South America. There's not poor people in poor neighborhoods.
In Colombia was like that.
That's what I'm saying. Think about how big this world is. What do you think the music was like?
You ever heard of fucking what's going on in Mexico?
I'm saying, look what's perpetuated in number one hit Billboard.
But I'm just saying, like the same thing you just said. I just proved the point though. Like Mexico, Colombia, those are places that was happening in. Right. Where they had those things, and they were doing the same thing that we're doing in Black culture. Probably 10 times worse. These niggas is running around with AKs.
I found a video.
Okay.
I found a video about
okay,
this.
so all right, so I don't know the top Billboard 100 songs, but do you think the top Billboard 100 songs are the same as like the popular rap songs that we get?
Yes.
Like they're talking about killing each other, and they're talking about
I listen to reggaeton. I'm 100% sure of that.
I'm gonna look at
and then on top of that, there's a certain type of Mexican music that I don't listen to that is about on some fucking what do you call it? What's the name? What's the name of the genre of music? It's about some like on some El Chapo shit.
Found the video on it.
On what?
On what we're talking about.
We're going dumb long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could end it, but I'll share you the video. And it's a white preacher, and he's talking about he literally asked executives about Black music and why they perpetuate, and he said it's a Black murder is a strategy, is a marketing strategy. I think it's a, I honestly think it's a strategy.
Did you see like my disposition?
I do.
You're fine a preacher.
No,
tell me somebody that I don't believe in like a preacher.
Well, it's just a white man, and he's talking to a group of people about this.
And who are these people?
I'm not really sure, but it is a video that I found a while ago. And that's kind of like why I like thought it just made me think about it. And I've always thought about it. And like I said, I hear the music. I'm very well aware of, I'm up to date with music, like all the way till now. I'm up to date. Too. And there's certain music and I just listen and it seems like a pattern to me. And then I just questioned it. And it's not like, I want to filter artists. It's not that I want to change music. I'm literally just thinking like our community is struggling. And it's just like, how do we take responsibility for how in the ways that our community is struggling? Yeah. I feel like there's certain things that have been perpetuated throughout time, and you can see the progression of it, and it's just getting worse and worse. And I'm just saying, like, as artists and as music people who create music that the whole world listens to, this is how we portray ourselves. Is there not a better way that we can consider what we're talking about, what we're building, and the legacies that we're creating and the people that we're influencing? Is there not another way to consider that we want something different?
I think the conversation is getting a little circular.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we're really getting anywhere with the with it. So if
y'all tell us what y'all think in the comments, man.
Yeah, it's getting too circular, and unfortunately, we don't really have, like me, I don't have statistics that back up that Colombia or in Pakistan they're talking about spinning the block and shooting niggas up and this and that. I just don't know. I just have the idea that I'm pretty sure that's American music.
And I'm just concerned with my community, the kids that I watch.
Then why can't other cultures listen to American music? Why is it banned in a lot of their cultures?
What?
But it's Jamaican. We're black. What do you mean?
But you're saying that's American culture, American black.
I'm talking about black culture. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure like this, because I see in reggae like they talking about.
So you feel like that also the labels over there is also only allowing that music. What about Bob Marley? Like if he didn't talk about shit like that.
No, but look who signed Bob Marley.
Who?
They took American label, took Bob Marley over here to make him popular to Americans. That was the whole thing about Bob Marley.
That's what I'm saying. So Bob Marley was very positive.
He was positive.
So why would these labels that have this agenda bring that to America?
We're also talking about this is black culture. It's getting circular. We're also talking about Lil Baby and what we're perpetuating now compared to as the first reggae artist that was before our time.
I don't know. I don't know. We gotta if we have more facts, because we could just get opinions.
That's what I'm saying. We could talk about this all day and not really get anywhere.
I think like when we have conversations, well, we'll talk offline, but when we have conversations like this, we probably should have like more facts just to debate on it.
We kind of walked into this one.
Yeah, we didn't see this coming. Yeah, we did, but we talking about fucking Mount Rushmore.
Well, we're gonna end it right there. And if you guys want us to continue this conversation, put it in the comments. Give us your feedback. If it's a stupid conversation, put it in the comments. Give us your feedback.
It's not stupid. Nobody.
Of course. But thanks for tuning in this episode. Who do you agree with the most? Put that in the comment. Who do you disagree with? Who do you disagree with the most?
All the old heads gonna agree with y'all, but
because I think with this, we all had different perspectives.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, shit. I be feeling like an old head when I say shit like that. Like I be really feeling some type of way because I'm like yo, but I'm more aware and I'm more conscious.
No, and that's good. So that's good because I need.
What the fuck have we been listening to all this time?
Because I need to hear all of it, even if I don't agree with you. I probably maybe when I do have my kids, I'll think differently. But
you sure will. I'm telling you, when you hear your little daughter walking around singing certain things, you're gonna be like.
I guess maybe.
And then you're going to remember back when you were singing. Like, I remember just getting smacked for singing certain songs.
Before we get into another one.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Tune in next time, y'all.
We're going to have episodes for days.
Yeah. Sheesh.